Smell that burning fuel. You might get a killer headache from this. You're harmed. Spring out. Let's see. listen to the creatures of the night. That's a jumbo puff with an appetite. Ain't no fuzz. Better put an end to it before it ends our world. The jumbo puff is kicking it up a notch. It's time for an electric performance. A couple of more hits and it's a fried circuit board. bad feeling about this. It goes all the way down to the stomach. Start like a snack, and you'll end up with a ride down the intestinal canal. That's too close to the end station. Better move up and away, or be swept out the bowel way. Better pumped out than flushed down. Don't let it happen again. Wow, what a super-sized worm whip. That must be as big as they come. You see, it's what's on the inside that counts. That meaty Taurus is already offbeat. End it. Taurus is pumping at half a beat. You know what to do. Guessed it would go down with a throw-up. Can it really get any better than that? He thanks you for dealing with the first World Eater. It's a start. You should go see Out of Date and find out what you can about the machine he's named the Ark. You're good-hearted enough, so you'll have no problem getting him to share the information with you. He trusts you know where to find Out of Date by now. He's always been at the foot of the tree, and that hasn't changed. Gizmo will always make time for you. Understands you have things to do. Check out that plastic scrap over there. Do you feel safer or more exposed in the dark? You found Boulder Broke. Toxanol used this place to make big rocks into small ones. They just ground everything down. Is something sinister hiding among the trees? You can make so many amazing things out of wood scrap. Even the sound seems sharper here. This is called suburbia, a place to get away from the city stink. Chop it up. That hurt 'em. You're fading. Sharp. The yerp fields, where the echo of your actions resounds clearer than any other place you'll find, except for where that's not true. There it is, the tree of life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future, a representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. The world needs saving. Make the most of the day. This one is Bang Shelter 8F. Wonder how long they held out here. It's a cold zone. Even a thick coat of fur is enough to keep you warm here. E-waste, the stuff you need. Wood scrap. The one kind of scrap you could actually still find growing. Let's see. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. Out of Date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. He promises he'll be there for you. Just come talk to him beneath the tree if you're feeling lost. Out of Date says there's a time for everything. And now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things. If you continue to do good, good will follow you. If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So he's prepared for the worst, something he calls the Ark. He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive. Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees. He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core. The contamination disrupted what we now know as key energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate. He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head. It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real. He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground. The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out. The Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world comes to end. He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark in the event of a cataclysm.
Loya, Voto Lola, Bubuko von Yunyun.
Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy.
Wumbobo Dubuko.
He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Goop in the southeast.
Mayani, Maoketo, Tolu, Ayadre.
Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Goop.
Befarbihita, Huntokob Kirko, Yowotulua.
He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Goop and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That's the sound of impending doom. Out of Date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The Porkypuff needs to be handled.
Tolowoya, Lo, Yalobatoluyu.
Out of Date says that Goop is worried now that the Southeast World Eater is stepping up its activity.
Loatolu Tom, Fabobe, Mok Kofar.
He explains that Goop is working on a goo-gliding vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done.
Mamambuso, Tolowoya, Lo, Yalobatoluyu.
Out of Date suggests that you should head southeast as fast as possible and see what you can do to help.
Yevovo, Lolan, Awful.
He wonders what's on your mind.
Wumbobo Dubuko.
Wouldn't be surprised if you met again. Good thing you love to explore, even underground. This box once tailed a chugga-chugga. Now it's just off track. Easy to lose your way if you can't see landmarks. Don't trip over what you can't see. A shopperia. Maybe there's something still inside. Your foe stands before you. Your key energy isn't up for that. You're fading. Dented that one good. Boom, boom. Wow, wow, wow. You might want to fall back. You're absolutely drained. Listen to all that night noise. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Hunker down, or lots of notices on the board for things that made sense in the days when the surf was a lot cleaner. Interesting to see. In the old days, this was a port for boats that they made a... You should be able to find a track here. Just need to keep your eyes open. Let's see.
Jango. Aji tawa. Kantua pawagwika.
Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days.
Rapiki.
Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim.
Nusa chaida.
Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance.
Chaida.
Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was.
Chaida. Mavaniko.
He knows he's easy to remember. There's no one out there as cuckoo as him. He's one of a kind.
Rakia utwa.
Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again.
Sisa tiarian.
He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child.
Yatupuwila.
Now the time has come for you to remember and act.
Jango itako.
He thinks that's the right thing to do. It's only when you have forgiven that you'll find peace.
Light instantly banishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light, all of it!
I mean, you could leave a little space for the dark.
All the light.
Muakan bali.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some harder than others, of course. Which kind do you like?
Muakan bali.
Hit the open surf then. The trouble is you can only rely on yourself, at least until you reach a new shore and make new friends.
Tenko.
Can hardly believe the world is going to make it. Wonders what that's going to do to the goo.
Sisa tiarian. Mako.
Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf.
Caesar Terrianu, Rosa.
Thinks the Myriad made a good match with you. You're both like sunshine on the surf.
Azetawa,
Never seen any brighter. Shine on.
Mukam,
But hey, back to the goo.
Execon, Tituata, Compoga.
Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now.
Bauta Saredo Noquana, Mavanico.
He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit, so you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside.
Mavanico, Powered Wika, Yokia.
You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff.
Zurakia.
You're lucky that way. There's still cargo left on the shores from before the apocalypse. His best guess is a power tanker hit a reef and went under. It's okay to smile at the growing light. Shot. stays on. Running low. Sunburnt. You've had better days. Yuck! Biohazard. Sickening. Take this seriously, or it'll take you down. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework.
Mukamme. Sairuja. Wingi mukambali.
He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out.
Sisateriani. Hoga.
There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need to find the right spots.
Chaide itaku yokia.
Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks, squeaky distractions for the triple attentive porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position.
Yokia.
The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp. He only knows what's visible to the naked eye. Gulp is not much of a babbler and mostly keeps to himself and his drink.